in the US, the structure is so like you don't really take a gap year, you don't take a year off to do anything you want, you don't really go anywhere in the summers besides maybe like staying in the country
and
doing internships, which is fun and all, but like get some real world experience, get something like you'll remember for the rest of your life. Hi, welcome to our channel. I'm Lucy.
I'm Victoria.
So today we want to kind of go over one of the hot topics that it's been something we wanted to share. This is one of our first traveling experiences back when we were about 17 years old in college. It was the summer where we traveled to Europe, specifically Germany. I want to share with you how we were able to make money while we were traveling at the same time. So to get started, I'll ask Victoria some Q&A questions because she actually did the program first and then I did it the second summer. So yeah, let's get started. If you can kind of go over how you found out the program.
Yeah, definitely. I'll talk a little bit about the program, also how I found out about it. So it was actually, I think, the first summer after college, my first year in college. I met these two girls, Olivia and Kira, who are my closest friends right now.
They're also twins, by the
They're
way.
also twins. I know, shocker, right? Twins with twins. So Olivia and Kira told me about this program, and I was a bit hesitant at first to think about doing that because I've never been in a country, like a completely different continent by myself before, and I was like 17 at that time, and it was kind of scary, honestly, just to be in another country by myself. But then I decided to take the risk and really just go forward and try it out. So I applied with the application. It was pretty kind of extensive, and I also had to get CPA certified.
Is there a background check?
I don't remember if there might have been a background check. It's been so long.
But there's like essays.
There's essays, like, yes. This company has camps all over Germany, and what they do is send counselors, that's what we were, camp counselors all over Germany to attend these camps, teach English to kids while having activities with them, usually a week or so, and then you rotate to different camps. And there's probably like 20 or 30 different camps all over Germany. And everything was paid for, my housing, my food, my travels, and I also got a stipend. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was enough for me to, you know, see that I was working and making some money. It also helped pay for my traveling costs on my flight to Germany and my flight out of Germany. That was a really great experience.
Yeah, wow, that's so exciting. Do you want to kind of touch over some of the fun camps that was memorable for you? Because I know you did it for 2 summers. She did it for 2 summers. So like maybe touch over some of the fun camps that you kind of remember.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a whole bunch of camps. I honestly cannot remember all of them now, but some of the highlights were I was in the north of Germany, a little outside of Berlin. They had a camp that was by the water. And I remember some of the activities we did were at the beach, do like a lot of fun activities with the kids, like skiing, jet skiing, and we also biked to the beach. That was beautiful. I remember one day we were trying to bike back as fast as we could, passing all these like fields of grass. It was very beautiful, and I just remember it was like raining and we were trying to rush back. We had like movie nights, we had crafts, we had like games with all the kids. That was a really fun, and I also had like met so many different counselors from all over the world, all over Germany, all over the US, Ireland. We're all like bonding and working together to teach kids. And that was one of the camps. Another camp I went to was actually close to a castle. I can't remember the name of it. I think I need to look it up. So we did with the kids, we actually go around the castle and just visit everything. And one of the last camps I remember going to was with my girlfriends Olivia and Kira, and we went to forgot exactly the place, but it was by the lake. So we had a lot of also water sports like kayaking. That one was really fun because we had a whole hostel or like a whole place to ourselves, and that was a really fun experience because we played a lot of games at the place. We taught a lot of English. There was kids from all over, not just Germany, but also like from Russia, from China. It was a really fun and diverse experience, and I got to do it with my really close friends. Those were some of the biggest highlights of some of the camps I was at.
Wow, it's very exciting. After Victoria did her first summer, I was like, oh my god, you did so much fun stuff, I want to do it too. So then she helped me also get a reference, and I applied through the same program, and so the next summer we did the same thing kind of together. But the second summer, this is my first time trying it, I was kind of by myself just because
I don't think we were ever together. Honestly, it doesn't, the coordinator who puts it together never puts people together. So I think the time with me and my girlfriends were together was because one of my girlfriends became a director of a whole camp. So I think because of that, they have more like ability to say who they want to go with. Versus like mostly it's very scrambled. Like you really don't know who you're gonna be place with until the day of, when you get to the camp and you meet other counselors. It's actually kind of crazy, but it's actually a lot of fun. So maybe, Lucy, since I've shared some of my experience about the best camps, what were some of your best camps? I've heard some really great stories from her. I was actually jealous of some of the places she was able to go to.
It was pretty scary when I first started, because I besides my trip to Korea, which I took with a group, it was like a group field trip. This was the first time actually traveling to a different country by myself, and it wasn't like someone was picking me up from the airport. I was literally going there by myself, and mind you, in Berlin, everything is in German. Like, there's not much in English. I think there's some words in English, but there's not much, and I was super confused. I just recall a really nice person who knew English and was helping me out, figuring out where my hostel was. So the training, the program itself, I don't know if you ever touched on that one, but is in Germany. So you do 2 or 3 days, kind of, or was it a week? Something like 2 or 3 days to a week in Germany, where you kind of train about, like, you know, what it means to be a counselor, what are sticky situations you see yourself in, how to prepare for, like, you know,
the CPA test too,
CPA test, but how to prepare for, like, the sessions that you have with the students. And the students are wide range. You range from, like, little kids, literally 3-4 year olds. Okay, like, they can walk at that point, maybe not 3-4, maybe 5, up until, like, maybe 17 years old.
16,
16 years old. So, like, it's a wide range of knowledge.
That's literally 1 year younger than us.
Than we were. Point. So, like, it was kind of awkward if you had to, like, teach someone who was 16. It's like, oh. They're all very respectful, in my opinion. Everyone was super respectful. Everyone was super nice. It wasn't like, oh, like, I felt superior, they felt superior to me just because we're so close in age. I think everyone was very respectful. It was like a week long in Berlin. I met a few friends there, really enjoyed their company, but then, like you said, it gets scrambled during the camp, so you get kind of pushed into random camps. Like, you don't really get to choose, you just get pushed in there because they think that there's a need for you there. I remember one of the camps I had was, like, really close to the water, to, like, very north of Germany, and that's, like, close to the Black Sea, so it was pretty cool because, you know, ocean, close to the ocean. It was really nice. It was a big camp, so many kids were there. Another exciting camp I guess I was at was the Dungeons and Dragons themed camp. That one was pretty interesting because it wasn't offered too often. It was, like, once every summer, because some of these camps were, like, keep rotating for kids to come back. But this one was in the middle of nowhere, no service or anything like that, which was nice. But we had this, like, Dungeon and Dragon themed, where we had, like, mazes and cool, like, dress up and costumes and story time. So I think overall it was a really fun experience. Another exciting camp actually I've been to was an adventure course camp. So, like, in the camp we did a lot of adventurous stuff. Like, we had, like, zip lining, we had, like, a ropes course, anything, like, adventurous that kids were interested in doing, also safe for them, we participated in. So that was a pretty interesting time too. Overall, I think the experience was pretty great, just getting to know so many people from different countries. Every camp you just meet new people. You don't, you know, you don't interact with the same person, so it's pretty interesting. Like she said, like, they pay for, like, pretty much our housing, our transportation to each camp, food, and some camps have better food than others, I have to say. And then they give us
free food.
Free food, yeah, exactly. You provide you a stipend for you, just like as a payment, I guess,
for your work.
But yeah, it was very, very fun.
Yeah, it was all such a great experience, and being able to do that at such a young age, and being exposed to that kind of culture and experience, and being able to meet so many different people from all walks of life. Everyone had different reasons for being there. For us, it was just to have fun and, like, just to see what it was like to be in Germany. Other people actually do it for their full-time job. Some people were freelance artists. I remember meeting some really great friends I'm still in touch with right now, who were, like, soccer players or who were artists, and they do this on the side. All these experiences, and you're able to meet such a diverse group of people, and I think it opened up our lives to the opportunity of exploring the whole world. And I think that was the first time that we decided that this is something we want to continue doing, because there's so much more to see in the world. And from that trip, honestly, we saved enough money, and while we were both in Europe, we also decided to travel to different places. So while I was in Germany the first time, I traveled with my girlfriends to Czech Republic, Prague, and then we traveled all over Germany, like Munich, Frankfurt. It was a really great experience for me the first time, and then the second time, when my sister also did the same camps around the same time that I did, we also ended up in Munich together, and we decided to take a Europe trip. And so that was kind of like our first, I guess, together. For me, it was my first kind of Europe trip, but she's been doing it for, like, the past summer too. And there we went to, I guess, Munich, we went to Venice. Down to Venice, and all over Italy.
All over Italy, like, hotspots like Rome, Florence, Pisa, Milan. So, and then I think the coast of Italy, I don't remember the name.
The 5 villages.
Yeah, it was very beautiful, very colorful town, right along the water, which is beautiful. We also headed up to, I guess, Paris,
France.
And I think that was our last spot
Stop.
before we headed back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before we headed back to the US because we had to go back to school.
So that was our first taste of Europe.
Yeah, and it was really nice because, like, you know, the money we made during the weeks that we were there was able to be spent on our trips and then the flights coming back, which is super nice and helpful. So we pretty much didn't really like make anything, but we also didn't spend anything.
Spend much money from out of our own pockets. We were able to do it without like any support from anyone, travel by ourselves while working. So I think if anything, it was a win-win all around, right?
Yeah. But I think obviously this can work for some people, not for everyone. If you don't like kids, if you don't like teaching English, then maybe that's something you have to reconsider. But for us, like, it was my first time teaching English. I was like 18 years old at the time. Like,
do we aim it in English?
Yeah,
right now?
I was like, do I even know English? Teach English? But honestly, it's like very easy. Like, think about it. These kids are coming to summer camp. They don't want to, like, you know, be in the classroom all day. We're only really in there for an hour, 2 hours. Like, if you're in a smaller age group, you can usually do flashcards. Like, pretty simple stuff. Usually older ones, even the older ones, sometimes their English is not like 100% like there yet. So like it still can be like very basic English too. I definitely think that you need to be like, you need to like kids. You want to be able to interact with them, because besides like the classroom time, you also have to be outside, play with them, do stuff with them, create these activities for them. You kind of have to like kids a little bit. But
but it's honestly like it's not too much requirement to do that, and it's like the easiest way to use one of your skills that you already have, which is like
English.
Just speaking English is enough. And then be able to teach that to other people, and a lot of people want to hear that. I have friends who have actually taught English in China, taught English in Taiwan, literally anywhere in the world. You have the opportunity to do that, and you can also get paid for doing pretty well for doing that. And this is just one place we were able to do it without spending money,
and at such a young age too.
Yep.
Yeah, and like she kind of, to touch upon one of her thoughts, like one of the camp counselors I met on the trip, she was teaching English in like Europe, all over Europe. She was doing Italy, the UK, Germany was her first stop, her first like different, I guess, location, but she was doing all over. That was her full-time job, to be an English tutor in the summers. And I guess she just took the rest of the year off. But you know, that is definitely an option for like Americans too, because I know in the US the structure is so like, you don't really take a gap year, you don't take a year off to do anything you want, you don't really go anywhere in the summers besides maybe like staying in the country,
and
so doing internships, which is fun and all, but like get some real world experience, get something like you'll remember for the rest of your life.
Making friendships with people from all over the world. We have a home if we do decide to go travel back to Germany or elsewhere in Europe, and that's also because of the fact that we're able to build all these relationships with people. So on top of the fact being able to travel, getting the most priceless experiences, and also like making like great relationships with people that we normally wouldn't be able to meet if we were staying in the States. All of that really made our summer, like 2 summers in Europe, or my 2 summer, her 1 summer in Europe, very memorable,
amazing experience.
Yeah, and I was able to see so much. Now I think back about it, in Berlin, but got to see so many historical places. In Frankfurt, traveled, went on one of the double-decker buses. We highly recommend it if that's something that you do consider doing. I mean, you can do that whether you're like 20 or 15 or 17, like
25.
Yeah, honestly, any age you can do that. And if anything, it gives you more valuable experience. It doesn't take away anything from you.
Yeah, so with that, I wanted to close off with the segment. So thank you for joining us. Definitely like below, subscribe if you're really interested in hearing more about our experiences, or if you have any questions for us, definitely put that in the comments below. Looking forward to our next video.